All right, cool. That's all that I want to share regarding WEEX. So I'm very honored to have Andy here today. I mean, for those of you guys, I mean, we are in Hong Kong. I'm pretty sure everyone knows Andy. But for those of you guys who are not that familiar, he's a very successful investor as well as an author. Yeah, so thank you, Andy, for joining me here today.
Yeah, no problem, man, bro. So let's have a chat. You know what? I know we hear a lot of things that's going on, with WEEX, and we had a lot of different chats on how community is going to build, right? Mm-hmm. Among around around this space right now. Do you think building communities is really that tough, or what secret recipe do you have?
No, I like I told Andy just now as well. I think building community is a lot tougher than a lot of you guys think, especially comparing now to 2018 when a huge influx of users are coming into the Web3 space without much knowledge. But right now, a lot of the users, they're actually a lot more educated. I mean, thanks to all the information that we provide. So users are actually smarter in a way. So to really build a strong community, you need to provide enough value for them. It's not just like, you have some airdrops, everybody just come to my community and then they stay with you. It's not. We don't need this kind of community. We want communities that stay with you because of who you are, either who you are or what you provide for them long term.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, before maybe you asked me some question as well.
Yeah.
I just want to chip in on that because I think now the users are more sophisticated.
Yep.
Right. They want to know what you can provide from an exchange, right? And what the project is doing with the exchange. Yes. Because if you know, there's a lot of these rumors going on. So-and-so project has a lot of insider, right? So-and-so exchange is more favorable, maybe more favored to certain projects. And that makes the whole environment, pretty tough for community building. Because at one side, they love the incentive, but at the same time, they would think that, wow, is this project going to be backed by the exchange wholly? So it's not easy to really build effectively, right? And we had a conversation just now. We mentioned it is actually more important, to have some kind of unity,
yep.
Right? Not just from a money perspective, unity as in maybe the big projects handhold the smaller projects, right? And then the more established global exchange, help with the smaller projects as well, because maybe they are in a region where it's emerging, right? You mentioned about Russia.
Yeah,
right?
Russia.
We met a friend from Kenya just now.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, I think was Brazil.
Yeah,
right?
Brazil. Yep.
So there's a lot of things that is really going on, within the space, and if you want to make it big, and then ignore the already big exchanges right now, these are the smaller markets that you can assemble and make a big difference out from what you see right now, especially where a lot of these guys that we talk to right now, they say, hey bro, the market is bad, man. I think it's a mindset,
Yep.
Not sure if you agree.
No, I definitely agree. And I think, like you said, for exchanges or partners, like projects right now, it's very important to really work together. And not just incentives-wise, because if you build your community based on incentives, they're not loyal. That's basically someone that come to you today for airdrops, go to another community next day for another airdrop. So that's not something that we really look for. We want to back projects as much as possible to really build a very loyal community, and exactly what you mentioned just now.
Yeah, I again emphasize that unity is the most important thing.
Yep, agree.
For me, as you know, I'm very neutral, right? But whenever I see a very good community, right? Not so much of a project, to be honest, because if the project is good, usually I think the community is actually walking the talk.
Yep.
Right? So it will be easier for us to spot good projects on X when you see that there is a big amount of real community backing it up. Whether it's going through airdrop, whether it's going through a promotion with an exchange, it's just so obvious, right? If it's bots, to me, at least they have made some effort, right? But then most of the time, if it's real community members, you can see the actions that they do, the kind of feedback that they give, it's very different. So I treasure those. You know, I believe WEEX and a lot of these quality projects or exchanges, they are looking at that kind of input, right? So many people chew under my posts, right? Sometimes it's fun, right? But at the same time, filtering out the best project, right? You know, some of my friends are here. You know, is actually the toughest.
Yeah. And if you guys don't follow Andy on Twitter, you guys definitely should. He's very active there, and I think a lot of value actually provided there. And I really like something that you mentioned just now. So a lot of exchanges are actually looking for this kind of projects, but it's not easy to find right now. It's definitely not easy. So if any projects, you know, I definitely do hope you guys go the route where you guys really build a Unity community and not just a quick, quick 1 or 2 months projects and then you move on to the next. I think that's something that really should change in the space. Yep. But Andy, I really want to talk to you about, I mean, because you're very an expert in the space and experienced in the space as well. So when it comes to the exchange atmosphere, like the ecosystem, where do you see like exchanges moving towards in the next 1 or 2 years? Like what role do you see exchanges play in like the whole Web3 space right now?
I think right now it's actually very obvious that users, for example, they are looking for exchanges who can offer them an extra layer of security, right? So, like what you guys are doing, I think it's fair, you know. But what people really want, you know, is about accessibility, on-ramp, off-ramp.
Yep.
Because if you notice, you know, some friends might agree, yeah. They make money, but it's getting tougher and tougher for them to get it off-ramp.
Yep.
Right. So if an exchange is able to provide that additional punch, you know, to make sure that the money can safely flow out through a legitimate way, I think that would be a big plus, right?
Yep.
This is number one. Number two is that I think we will see lesser and lesser of those KOL-driven exchange. Why is it so? Because I'm not sure if some of you are around, but the exchanges are, they like traffic. I like traffic too, you know, but the KOLs are just like butterflies, right? They shift from A to B to C with the same users, right? So sooner or later, exchanges' role is also to help us sieve out what are the good KOLs that you should really talk to and work with. And those that are sticking with the right kind of exchanges, they would actually get the most benefit out from that. Not just the KOL, you know, or the influencer, but also for the users or the retail normies that are following the KOL and following the exchange. It becomes a really healthy flow of a user base, you know, within the space. I see that in Asia a lot.
Yep.
You know, I'm very active in South Korea, Japan, Southeast Asia. You see that the trend is very obvious. You know, they are looking for an exchange that they can be with for a long time. You know, and again, you know, through some of the AMA sessions that I have online, you know, some of these normies, they will ask questions that you would never expect. They will ask me things like, okay, how much does it take to be listed on the B brand exchange, right? Okay, you tell them it's free. They will say, oh, okay, it's free. How do they make money? So you start to explain. But nowadays, users will ask me, so and so exchange, for example, in order to list in WEEX, is there a listing fee? You know, they want to know whether that exchange, is it a B2B exchange where they just want listing fee for a big revenue?
Yeah.
We don't want to mention who else, right? You know,
yeah.
I know how much they're asking, but some of these exchanges are literally using exchange listing fee as a form of survival, right? So now normies are asking me questions like, they say, bro, how much does it go to the B brand or the K brand or the C brand? I was like, oh man, good. You know, they are using that as a benchmark whether this exchange is something that they should put some effort to it, right? Or is it really for the people, right? For the community. So that is a very big thing that most of these people or exchanges are not talking about it, right? Normies are actually asking these questions in specific AMAs or private groups. And I think that this is one important metrics that we should share, you know?
Yep, I agree.
And things should be transparent, right?
Yep. Yeah, I definitely agree with the 3 points that you mentioned. right? Off-ramp, on-ramp, the accessibility, that's something that WEEX has been really focused on. And security as well, which is why we established the 1,000 Bitcoin Protection Fund. And KOLs, when you talk about KOLs, I actually have a lot of experience with KOLs, and definitely agree. Not every KOL is worth partnering up with. And you really have to filter like those good KOLs. Something that I do is I make sure all my KOLs are actually a genuine user of our platform. If you're not, you can't be shilling this thing. Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
All right, Andy, other than the exchanges side, I mean, I know you're very active with projects, memes. I mean, I know you love memes. Where do you see like the whole projects, memes market trend going towards in like the next 1 or 2 years?
Okay, I want to make a bit of correction. I love memes because they are fun, and also because they have a very good community base.
Yep.
Right. So I think right now the trend is pretty obvious. I saw some friends as well. So it's very obvious. We see meme coins as a door opener, right? It's an easy entry. People can explain very, very well.
Yep.
Through the people I met, they are very enthusiastic,
Yep.
right? So entering using memes, but how these memes can survive, it depends on how many members you can get, right? And what is the kind of narrative that you can provide, right? So example, a typical roadmap is start with a meme, followed by a nice utility, right? And then maybe later on, you could even do a lot of big things, right? Like yesterday, we saw Pudgy, right?
Yeah,
Pudgy Penguins, they have a merge, right, and so forth. But to be very honest, if you have a really big fan base, for example, maybe I have not such a big one, but I could form an Andy Cafe or something, right? I'm not a meme, but I could be a meme, right? So it could be an Andy Cafe, and then it become a more franchise model where everyone in the world can start to network at that cafe. So it become a global clubhouse, right?
Okay.
And of course, we could also work with exchanges like WEEX, and other partners, so that we can gather small groups of people at the cafe, and it become a very sustainable business, right? Whether the cafe money is used to burn the token or whatever, I don't care. But the main thing is there should be a journey, for all these memes to carry on. Because most of the memes, if you are not the top 300 or 500, there's no way you can survive, right? So if you need to survive, you need to partner. And if you need to partner, you should look at, number one, exchanges or people in the Web3 space. But think about it. There's a lot of other money to be made, in the Web2 space, and it's easier to make ourselves look a lot sexier in front of the Web2 guys, right?
Yeah.
So cafe could be one thing, merge can be one thing, but ultimately is you get your community to work for their own back, right? If they can work for their own back, the sustainability of the project can go a lot longer, super long. It could last to the next cycle. The problem with the projects nowadays is that they have a nice meme, just a nice meme, right? They have no plans.
Mm-hmm.
They have very poor leaders, that didn't know anything apart from just boo posting, meaning, I'm feeling good today. The meme is very happy. Shit, man, we don't want to hear this, man. We want to see price actions, right? We want to see real partnerships, So the reason why I'm sitting here with WEEX, with Thomas and my other friend Andy and so forth, is that you see that exchanges are genuinely trying to find good communities, right? If they can find a good community, whether it's a new community, old community, and so forth, they form the partnership, and it's going to be win-win for everybody. Win-win for the project, right? Instead of giving the money from them to some KOLs that are just shitty, give it to the project.
Yeah.
Right? So again, normies are really clever. They ask me about exchange fees, exchange rate listing fees. They ask about how they can be the referral, instead of giving the money to a KOL, like maybe a wannabe KOL like me, right? So it's just strange, It's just so strange. So we have to make sure that we walk on the right path, walk your own talk, and make sure that you benefit back to your community, right? Again, I'm not against KOL or influencers, but if you want to be sustainable, you have a big community, make sure that you can monetize them, right?
Yeah,
so
agreed.
do not give the opportunity to some influencer or KOL just because they look good and they can talk very well. Every day they talk to you about Bitcoin, about all the different things, and you felt happy, emotionally happy, and pocket
Hurts your wallet.
better sense is a very different thing, right? So if you are a project, you have to find the right kind of secret recipe so that you can survive. And that's something that is really things that people are not talking about.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that is why WEEX nowadays we are listing so many and supporting so many projects other than just KOLs.
Yep.
And Andy, if you're gonna launch any memes, definitely let me know.
I want to be frank. I don't have the guts to launch it, because
No,
that's too much.
I'll definitely support, like for sure.
Okay, let Tony know. Back if 100 mil, we will launch this.
Okay.
No, we really need to do something good. So I think it's a really nice thing that we have a chat here, and I think some of these conversations that we have is really candid, right? Most people will not talk about listing fees and so forth on the stage, and they say, oh, this guy is talking shit, but these are real things that's really happening. Just be mindful, and I hope everybody can do well in this bull run.